President Obama talking illegal immigration tonight by literally talking to illegal immigrants tonight, all part of a special town hall meeting to which this man apparently wasn't invited. Maybe because he has a very different view of at least some illegals, and maybe this is why.
Was shot in the head by an illegal alien gangbanger while he lay on his back with his hands up. He still shot him through his hand into his head and killed him. My son thought he could walk down the street and not be murdered by an illegal alien, that he could depend on the government to secure our borders and keep the bad people out.
Boy, you could hear a pin drop in that room. The man with me now, Jamil Shaw. Jamil, very good to have you. I'm sorry under these circumstances. What was the reaction you got on the Hill?
Oh, it was pretty positive. You know, I was surprised myself that, of course, I knew the Republicans would be supporting me, but there was a lot of support from the Democrats. We even had a couple of them to sign on to the bill that we're trying to pass with the Fire Coalition. It's a bill that would track illegal aliens. The FBI would keep track of them. You know, it's the Illegal Alien Reporting Act. And some of the Democrats already signed on, so it's pretty positive. I was surprised.
I don't want you to relive something so personally painful, but obviously you put yourself on the line and wanted to get this out there when you went to Washington today. How did your son die? He was walking home, right? And then tell us.
Yeah, we was walking home from the mall. We had went to a football training that day in Pasadena. He asked me, could he go to the mall? I said, yeah, reluctantly. And on his way home, he called me, told me he was around the corner. A few minutes later, heard gunshots, went outside, laying in the street dead. A illegal alien was visiting my next-door neighbor, and for some reason, when he went to his car, he saw my son and ran over there and killed him.
I mean, he was part of a gang. This guy was part of a gang, right?
Yeah,
not your son,
18th
the guy
Street,
shot,
right? Yeah, what happened was they had passed him up around the corner, and they had a girl driving the car. They wanted to pull over right there and kill him because he was black. He had just got out the county jail, and he was an 18th Street gangbanger. The Latino gangs, they put him on assignment. Once he got out of jail, he had to go kill some blacks. And he was in my neighborhood looking for blacks to kill, and for some reason, he went to one of his friends' house to hang out and live right next door to me. So they saw my son they passed by my son around the corner, and they went and parked, but they didn't know he was coming right where they parked. So he walked right into death, to be truthful.
My God, and everything I hear about him is just a wonderful kid. But it's going to raise a lot of issues here. All right, this is a freak event, Jamil. You've heard about it. This could happen to anybody. In this case, it was illegal, but he did have a rap sheet, so he was sprung from jail anyway. What do we know about him?
Well, he was on his third gun charge, Neil.
Right.
When he was in jail for assault with a deadly weapon. He pulled a gun on somebody in the city, and then he had a fight with the police. Before that, he had 2 other gun charges. He was known just extremely violent. They knew he was like that, but for some reason, they thought they could rehabilitate him instead of deporting him. But they rehabilitated him in the streets, just let him out. No one cared that he was in my neighborhood, and he murdered my son, which he wasn't doing nothing. He was doing everything that American kids do on the weekend. They go to the mall, they hang out. You know, he was a good kid, no trouble. He'd never been arrested. He was a 3-time MVP, Player of the Year, Stanford, Rutgers. All he had to do was stay alive, and he was pretty much guaranteed a pretty nice life.
Yeah, and I understand he was a good kid too. Read the Bible, was curious, a good student. All of this seems so senseless, Janelle, but it happened back in 2008, and a lot of people who are saying what the president is doing, this president is doing, well, this predates him even being president. You argue we have a history of allowing illegals to get a pass in this country. That's why today I think you were trying to say you weren't trying to politicize it. Just say we have to crack down on this stuff, right?
Definitely. That's all they need to do. They have laws on the books. You know, we don't need any more laws. Just enforce the ones that are on the book. The federal law clearly says you must be deported. You know, you cannot be in this country illegal. So there's no reason for that. You know, that's why we came up with this bill 1041, the Legal Alien Reporting Act. It gives the FBI the right to track illegal alien criminals. These are criminals. These are the ones that Obama said he wants to get rid of. They don't want the other illegals, they want the violent ones. Obama, when my son was murdered, Obama was still running for president. But even before my son was murdered, he was campaigning, and we all knew where he was going with that. So when my son was murdered, that would have been a good chance for him to come out and speak on it, because Bill O'Reilly had talked to Hillary Clinton in that same year when my son was murdered in March. So it wasn't like Obama didn't know about it. He just knew that, you know, for some reason, and it seems like you have to be killed by a white man or a white police for black people to care.
Do you think his plan now, the president's plan now to delay deportations for up to 5 million illegals, good idea, bad idea?
Oh, bad idea, and he knows it. Obama has people around him that are saying it's not a good idea, but he just ignores them because he wants to fundamentally transform America.
Jamil, we can keep the politics aside, but there's no doubting the hurt you've gone through and the bipartisan push you're making to just try to stop the hurt. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for inviting me.
We'll have more to this.